Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy J Cobb, and you're listening to the Cobbcast, a place for like-minded entrepreneurs to connect, share, and grow. And I'm your host, Jermaine Cobbins, where I'll be sharing valuable content to help you to become a better entrepreneur and an all-around better person. We'll be discussing mindset techniques, business strategies, and ways to help take your life and business to the next level. So whether you're driving right now, whether you're at home, whether you're at work, go ahead and turn your speakers up, sit back, and let's ride. Yo, what's going on, guys? J Cobb here. So look, if this is your first time to any of the Cobbcast episodes, my name is Jermaine Cobbins, guys. I'm an online network marketer. I'm also a business coach, and what I do, I specialize in helping home-based business entrepreneurs and small business owners to build and scale their business using the power of social media. But you are now listening to the Cobbcast, and basically the Cobbcast was created as a place where like-minded individuals, entrepreneurs, just people that's looking to grow as a person, to come hang out and feel where they can come here and not be judged. I actually, it's funny that I'm talking about transitioning today, and I want to talk about that transitioning is not a bad thing. And speaking on this being a judge-free zone, I was actually I crossed the article about a week ago where Megan Good was talking about judgmental Christians is her reason for turning away from the church or not going to church as much, right? And I found that rather interesting, and for the quick little note, guys. I don't have anything against Christians or whatever religion that you believe in, right? I'm one of those type of people that I'm slow to judge. You know what I mean? And I think this is by far the best platform, guys. I'm looking to make this the best platform where people can come and not really feel like they're going to be judged for being who they are or going after what they want. And we'll talk a little bit about that later in this episode. But this right here, we're talking about transitioning, and transitioning is not a bad thing. All right, it's not such a bad thing. So first of all, guys, just think about it. When we talk about transitioning really has a really scary feeling to it. When you transition in life or in business, it's always going to have that fear. And I want you to think back, like, as a child, and maybe some of you guys have experienced this, but think about, going to a new school, right? Even if it's the same school, in your city, just going from elementary to junior high. Or maybe, those that have to, went all the way through junior high and high school, made friends, and then you have to change, schools, go out of the city or out of the state. Just think about that fear. So anytime when you come into transitioning in your life, it's always going to bring this fear. It's always going to bring this anxiety because we don't know what's on the other end, right? So hopefully after this actual episode, you will look at transitioning in a better way. My thing is, guys, I practice optimism heavily in my life and my business, and I've been told that you can feel this when you're in my presence all the time over the phone. Whether you guys believe it or not, you can actually feel someone's energy over the phone, and you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But transitioning, okay? I thought this would be the perfect episode, right? Episode 7, okay? Because I'm currently transitioning right now in my business, all right? And I titled this "Transitioning is not a bad thing" because right now, currently, you should be listening to this on either iTunes or over on Stitcher, right, for my Android users. But maybe some of you guys are watching on YouTube. The idea is this was a transition because a couple of years ago, I actually started a podcast series called the Cobb Coffee Talk. And basically, it was just my way of trying to test out podcasting to see if I enjoy it, see if it's a fit for me. And what I found out, I actually enjoyed, and I actually found out that it made a huge impact. I didn't have a big following, but I did have a few people to download. I had a few people to actually listen. So I was like, you know what? I wanted to bring that back, but I wanted to come back with something a little bit different. And the Cobbcast was something that just hit me. I was like, you know what? It's catchy. It has the name in it, and it's actually stepping away from just podcast, right? So this is the beginning of forever, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you guys are actually enjoying, what I'm about to bring to you guys, as well as the previous episodes, because the previous episodes are basically audio form, but they're only on YouTube. They're not on iTunes at the time of this recording. So possibly, we'll be getting that, trying to get that, uploaded to iTunes in the future. All right. So transitioning. When we talk about transitioning, like I stated, it always brings anxiety because we don't know what's on the other end. And I look at transitioning in a different way, and maybe some of you guys can relate. But when I transition in my life or in my business, I always ask myself, what am I leaving behind? And that's one of the questions that I asked when I first come into the marketing space. Keep in mind, guys, I had no marketing experience. I didn't know how to sell. I was shy. I didn't know how to talk to people. Yet, I made the decision to dive into MLM, okay, network marketing, for the multi-level marketing, for those that don't know. And it was one of the I would say one of the biggest turning points of my life. And the reason why I say that is because, it is a low barrier of entry to get in. And, you have an array of people that can really get started into direct sales and things like that. But here's what I found out. It's not so much as about the product. It's not so much as about the company. It's really more so the person that you become. And through marketing, what I found is that I've become a better person. I've always been entrepreneurial. I've had businesses in the past, but something about personal development and network marketing, it kind of goes hand in hand. And maybe you guys maybe you was raised with books and resources, having that success mindset. Well, I wasn't. Okay, so I was naive to a lot of these guys. But the idea is, this transition allowed so much in my life. This transition was something that was necessary. And I can, some days I wake up and be like, man, what would my life have been? How worse off would I have been if I didn't say yes to, network marketing? Of course, I've been in multiple companies. I do some affiliate marketing online, as well as some business coaching. But it all evolved from saying yes to network marketing, right? And the idea is, that was a transition, because I went from, I would say, an average mindset, and I've always dreamed big, but those dreams were suppressed by, those around me, right? Because, we are so accustomed to only seeing and believing what we see. And my dreams have always been big. I've always wanted to do big things, but I always felt like, you had to be a doctor or a lawyer. You had to come from, a wealthy background and things like that. And of course, I didn't have any of those factors. But through personal development, through listening to other people's story, I realized that, this is perfect. Like, I was able to see the not so sexy side of life, yet trying to create the better side of life, right? And whatever that may mean to you, I know for me, guys, it's just really getting to a place of financial freedom, where I don't have to feel like I have to, worry about where my money is going to come from, how I'm going to pay bills, how I'm going to provide for my family, or just the thought of, losing your home or your security, right? So the idea is, being optimistic is what's going to help you guys to transition. Yo, what's going on, guys? J Cobb here. So I hope you're enjoying this episode as much as I am. If so, do me a favor by smashing the like button. Don't forget to share this video out, and be sure to leave a comment. Also, if you're ever looking for ways to generate income from home on a shoestring budget, even with limited time, then I'm your guy. There should be some links below in the description, guys. Also, if you're just really loving this Cobbcast episode and you want to contribute, there will be a link below for contributions. Other than that, guys, we're heading back to your Cobbcast episode. Thanks for listening. I have a ton of stories where I can share where if I didn't transition, then my life would be devastating. Like, there was this job one time I had, and that's when I was going into the career that I'm currently in right now, which is I'm a full-time firefighter. And I remember transitioning from this job. I had been in this job about 5 years, and it was something about my time. You know, the job wasn't a bad job. I actually, you know, enjoyed the job, but it just took so much of my time. But I knew that, you know, firefighters had a little bit, I guess you say better schedule. They had a little bit more free time per se, more days off and things like that. And I enjoyed life, but I couldn't enjoy life because I was working so many hours. So what happened was, as I began to train and get ready to take on this new journey, a lot of anxiety, you know, set in. You know, am I gonna be able to make it? You know, the people, and it's the typical thing, guys. And at this time, I was 24 years old. You know, so the idea was I stuck with it. Right, I end up becoming a firefighter at the age of 24, and do you know, guys? Years later, that business ended up shutting down, and I'm grateful because I knew I would have been caught up in that, you know, and it's not fortunate for the people that was, but the idea is you always want to transition, you always want to evolve. You know, like I told you, I started as a network marketer, which now I do affiliate marketing, I do coaching, I will soon have a real estate portfolio, I will be doing live speaking events, and of course I'm podcasting. So I'm always transitioning and adding things to my, you know, my repertoire, my arsenal, and each thing, guys, is a new level. You know, so many times we look at, you know, being loyal, right? I want to be loyal to this thing, and of course I've had my share of this. I remember this one network marketing company I was with, and my mentors had went to another company, and of course they were looking to recruit some of their good people, I would say. And of course I was one of those good people, and they reached out to me about, you know, what they was doing, and, you know, asking me where I open to, you know, jumping on with them. And I was like, well, nah, I like, you know, my team here, you know, I like the product, I'm just gonna stay here. So, you know, about a week or so later, you know, they called back, and they were just telling me some things that was going on with the company, and, you know, things that really wasn't beneficial, or they didn't so much believe in. And, you know, they actually was like, well, look, you know, it's your choice, you know what I mean? But my mentor said something to me, and it really made me think. And it was just like, you know, just imagine if you was on a ship, and, you know, you had your crew on that ship, and that ship was going down. You know, do you feel that it's loyal to your crew to ride that ship down, or to get those that want to get help off that ship and onto another, you know, better, stable, you know, platform, or ship in this case? And it made sense. And a lot of times, you know, we mistaken our loyalty, guys, as a mantra, as a mighty thing, as something that I have to do. And this was one of those cases where I was like, you know what, it makes sense. It wasn't so much of the things that was going on with the company and things like that. It was just more so, am I letting my team down by staying here? You know what I mean? Or am I letting my team down by moving on? And at the time, I felt like I was letting them down by moving on. But a true leader saves their people. And it kind of made me think what my leader was doing for me. And this leader was reaching back saying, hey, you know, come on board with us. And that's something that I had to take, you know, basically to the people. And guys, this was an emotional time. Like, I mean, I remember shedding a few tears over this, because it was a different mindset. It was something that was stretching me. And transitioning, it can make you cry, right? It can make you, you know, make your stomach, you know, ball up, right? It can create, like I said, that anxiety, that fear. It can do a lot of things, but the idea, guys, is I always ask yourself, you know, what am I leaving behind, you know? And is what I'm going towards, does it have a greater reward? You know, and I tell this, you know, to a lot of my clients, that in everything you do, you're going to have risk and reward, right? The idea is, you know, knowing that if the risk outweighs the reward, don't do it, right? But if the risk is far outweighed by the reward, then you go ahead and do it. And this is something that, you know, anytime I make a major life-changing decision, or a business decision, this is what I'm always factoring in, guys. And, you know, it's just more so one of those, what's the worst that can happen? You know, I get the fact that, you know, when we transition in life and business, it can ruin some relationships, right? It can upset some people. It can ruffle some feathers. But the idea, guys, is that knowing that when you are doing something for the greater good, when you're doing something that you know is to better not only just yourself, but it's to better those around you. Yes, there are going to be a few people that you possibly have to leave behind. There are going to be a few situations and things that you possibly have to leave behind. But more so, you got to trust this process. You know what I mean? So just understand, guys. Transitioning is just one of those things that you have to really embrace in life. They say if you're not growing, you're dying. And I feel like transitioning is a form of growth. It doesn't mean that you have to hop to every company. It doesn't mean that you have to jump on every startup. It doesn't mean that. But the idea is always start looking for ways to grow. Always start looking for ways to evolve. Always keep your eyes and ears open for opportunity. And that's really what makes great entrepreneurs as well as great people. I found out that the most unhappy people are people that don't grow. These are the people that are stagnant. They feel stuck. And think about stagnant water. Stagnant water has bacteria. It has flies. It's infested, right? But a water that's flowing like through a river or down a stream, this water is cleaner because it's moving. So don't become stagnant water. Don't become someone that doesn't move in their life. All right, so always evolve, guys. Always look for ways to transition, and as always, man, stay true to yourself, stay true to your craft. Always look to improve, invest in yourself, and always reach out and reach back to help those around you. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will see you guys on episode 8, and it's your boy J Cobb. All right, be humble, be consistent, be you.